Welcome to More Than a Parent, a podcast exploring who we are and what we want outside of being a parent, so we can create an integrated lifestyle with impact both in and out of our homes. I'm Kaz Goddess, and I invite you to join me to be your more, live your and. Welcome to More Than a Parent. I'm Kaz Goddess, a personal power coach for parents, specifically moms who are wanting to live their more, be their and. What that means specifically is that I coach moms intentionally to create inner aligned lifestyles that energize both their presence as parents and also actualize who they are in their personal power. So what's important about this episode is this is pure power, guys. Before I even go into that piece, let me share with you a little bit about, I guess, everything going on. So we are obviously in a pandemic globally as a community. We are feeling it in all sorts of ways. There's a lot of different energies going around, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term empath. Usually it's someone that, not usually, but what it is it's someone who kind of feels all the feels, not just their own, but of others. And I think I underestimated how much of an empath I am, because up until last week, for a few days, I was feeling almost paralyzed. I was feeling all the feels going on globally, going on in the community, in other communities that I'm part of moms, everybody. This is affecting everyone. And so I was in a place where it wasn't like I was depressed. I've been there before, I know what that feels like. It was more of paralyzed by the feelings and then just kind of going through the motions of the day. If you resonate with this, if you've ever been in a situation like that, you know it is, you can get lost in that, right? Like you can just continue to go just through the motions instead of showing up. And so I allowed myself to have a space of feeling that, of being in that for a few days, because it obviously needed to come out. And so I did that piece, and then I told myself, okay, cool. I've been here before where I've allowed myself to feel something for a certain amount of time, and what is the next thing now, right? Because when we are feeling paralyzed, especially how easily that is as moms, as parents in this time that we're in, we have a choice. So feel the feels so that they are felt and not just continue to be submerged, because they will pop up again, and likely in situations and in ways that you prefer them not to. But looking like, okay, cool. So my choices are, I can stay paralyzed. I can stay in just going through the motions in a way that's not serving anyone, especially not yourself. And then you're adding to the noise of the things that aren't serving anybody. Or I can choose to allow that fear to fuel my power. And so be empowered in that pause, right? So that pause to feel the things, that pause to then be like in a place of reflection for what is possible. And so I started to choose, obviously, to be empowered in that. And I was able to not only connect more to myself. When you have moments that you allow yourself to have higher consciousness and you kind of flex that higher awareness in yourself, you're also able to see more potential, more possibilities, more opportunity. And so I thought, okay, cool. So what is the next best thing in the situation? How can I be part of something that empowers somebody else, especially if you're feeling in any way, shape, or form anxious or fear-filled or paralyzed, just in all the things, right? And so I reached out over the last week and a half. I reached out to several moms that I know, and then I also opened it up to the greater community to share some productivity tips, and I'll also be doing another episode with self-care tips. And so with this episode being the productivity one, we are in a place now where most of us are home with our kids. We're having to figure out homeschool like we've never had to do before. We're also having to be productive by either bringing our work home with us if we were working from out of the house, or now our business and our normal flow may be looking different with everybody at the house. there's a lot of incomes being lost. There is a lot of different uncertainties going on, right? But amidst it all, there is, if you choose to see it, there is possibility, there is opportunities, there is a moment to regather, to reframe for yourself, for your family, and then what does that mean like overall, right? So I asked these moms to share tips on either productivity or on self-care that could really serve us right now during this pandemic that we're in, because that way we can start contributing voices of empowerment, of possibility, versus just hearing a lot of the negative pieces, which some of it is definitely real, but we don't have to fully focus on that. Otherwise, it consumes us in a negative way. And again, not that it's wrong to feel quote unquote negative emotions. I don't believe in negativity. I really believe that those things, I call it, a certain group of us, we call it catabolic energy, which is just a type of energy that can fuel you. You have to feel it. It's part of being human, but you don't have to be sucked into the kind of like the winding piece of it consuming you in a bad way. So anywho, so for the resources shared today, this is going to be an interesting podcast. We're going to have a bunch of people joining us and sharing with us productivity for the now, productivity for this uncertainty that we're in. If you go to kazgoddess.com, that's KazGaddis.com, /podcast, you'll see all of it there. And specifically for this episode, if you go to KazGaddis.com /EOO9, that's for episode 009, that'll be the one here that we're going to be sharing on productivity. In that website, we'll also have the show notes as far as everyone's information. They all are sharing different freebies, different resources that'll all be available for you there. And there is a mega download with a bunch of everything that everyone is sharing. I'm calling it More Than a Parent Roundup Guide. So you'll be able to access that there.
Hello, my name is Julia Black. I'm also known as the Lights On Mum, and I am an educational disruptor, CEO of Explorium, and I have a transformative educational framework called Lights On. So I am the mum of 2 teenagers. One is, my daughter's 16 and my son is 13. And what I wanted to share with you during this time is that I grew my business absolutely with them at home, being educated. So when I set it up, about 6 years ago now. And the reason my business is all around the fact that school wasn't working out for my children or my daughter at the time. And I wanted to do things differently because I needed to do things differently. You might find yourselves with your children at home, not through choice, but through circumstance. And so what I wanted to share with you is to really see this time as a golden opportunity. I know it might feel a time of panic and a time of stress, but actually let's turn this into an opportunity for you. And I'm going to share with you one question that's going to be the game changer for you. So I want you to have a conversation with your children, maybe get a big sheet of paper out, across the dining room table or on your breakfast bar, loads of colorful pens, in the middle of it, like, what is it that switches on your lights? And you are going to just really explore with your children, who now have lots of time on their homes, lots of time on their hands, to be able to kind of really explore what is it that thing that you would love to do every morning. If you could get up and explore something, what would it be you'd like to do? And what this is going to do is it's going to really help you focus your attention while you've got them at home, so that you can get your children owning their learning while their time is away, and get out of the old school thinking where you think, oh my goodness, I've got to find some school to do at home. School's out, right? Learning is in. Start with their passions. Then the learning carousel, when you're learning through your passions, you get your mindset really dialed in. And the gift that you've got right now is that you have time. You have time given back to you to really help them start learning. Thank you very much and happy learning.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Crossland. I'm the owner of the Focus Driven Biz, and I'm a mom to a 2- and 3-year-old. And my tip for you to stay present with your kids and stay productive at work is something that I call tethered time. So tethered time is just a concept where you can tether together 2 tasks into one thing. And so, for example, a lot of us already will tether together nap time with productivity at work. We can get those quiet hours in our home office while the kiddos sleep. But there's a lot of other ways that you can tether time. So for example, I will oftentimes tether like social outreach or social scheduling while I'm outside playing with my kids. And so I'm able to kind of weave in and out of both of those tasks without them feeling like I'm not present for them, but then also without losing too much focus in my business. The other thing that I'll do often is I will tether together outreaches while I'm just hanging with them doing a craft. And so I am on Voxer a lot. And so hitting up Voxer and sending an outreach to somebody, it's really simple to do with the kiddos there. A lot of people are very understanding of having kids at home while you're working, and this is the age that we live in. And so we're embracing it, and I'm not hiding behind the fact that my kiddos are with me. And so having those moments where I can tether that time, my kids know that I'm with them, but also still stay productive is so valuable. And I know that this concept can be valuable for you too.
Hi there, this is Kristen Brenner from Integrity Mind Body. I am a social worker and a yoga teacher. I teach embodiment, mindfulness, self-compassion, and I like to help parents learn to really show up as their authentic selves in their parenting relationship. So I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about how we can remain productive in our work as we try to stay really deeply connected in our families through this time. So really what I want to look at today is the work of self-compassion, because it really lays it all out for us. It's a beautiful way for us to think about this. So in self-compassion, there are three components. There's common humanity, there's mindful awareness, and there's self-kindness. And we can really look at all of those as they apply today. Really, we're experiencing right now the greatest experience of common humanity that we've ever seen. We are all truly in this together. Everyone is going through the same experience and, finding our way at the same time. So we know we're not alone. We also then can become aware of what our needs are in this moment and what are the needs of our children and our families, to have that sense of mindful awareness. And lastly, we can figure out what we need and ask ourselves the question, what do I need right now? What do my kids need right now? So we can approach ourselves with a sense of kindness and compassion. So the first thing that I want to start with is really being clear about what are you feeling right now. So take a few moments, a couple of times a day really, to settle with yourself and really acknowledge, what am I feeling? It might be fear. You might be having a racing mind. Your stomach might really be upset. Any of those things are normal right now and all very typical. And you can take the time to then also ask your kids, what are they feeling right now? And really allow them that process of talking it out a little. And of course, the younger they are, the less you might do that. You'll, certainly check in with them. But as they get older, you can ask them that specific question. And once we get clear about how we feel, we can begin to ask ourselves the quintessential question of self-compassion, which is, what do I need right now? What do I need in this moment? And we can ask ourselves that question and then ask our kids, what do you need right now? And really listen to that answer. Sometimes what they might need is time with us. That's how they're regulating their own emotions. That's how they co-regulate, by being with us. And guess what? We co-regulate by being with them. So it's healthy and helpful for us too. So the kids are looking to us to set the tone for them and to let them know that everyone has needs in the family, and we will meet those needs and work hard to make everything happen that needs to happen, but that we need their help too. So the next thing we want to look at is setting reasonable expectations and then beginning to set our boundaries. What boundaries are we setting? How can we say, I'm going to work for a little while and then I'll be with you for a little while as well? And plan, let them know ahead of time, planning for time together. What are you going to do specifically with your kids each day? And letting them know so that they're aware that they'll have time with you. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope I'm wishing everyone great peace as we try to get through this time. So best of luck. Sending love.
Hi, my name is LaJuan Moses, and I am the content creator and host of More Than a Mother podcast. I am also a success strategist and business executive with a consulting firm that provides coaching and creative services to my clients. In my spare time, I am a mother of 3 children, a 19-year-old son and 2 daughters, ages 10 and 12. The advice that I can offer you today to help you with self-care and just taking care of yourself during this time of crisis, during this pandemic, is number 1, stay focused on your goals. It's so easy to get caught up in all the confusion, all the mess, everything that's happening, and it's so easy to get distracted by these problems. They come up and they just are there to throw you off your goals. I often say that problems are nothing more than distractions. So while this is something that is out of your control, it is definitely a tragedy, it's tragic, but don't become so caught up in it, don't become distracted that it throws you off of your goals. It's important right now in this rare moment that we've been given to stay focused on your goals. Many of our lives have changed, and we now find ourselves at home with our kids or working from home or doing various different things such as sheltering in place and staying at home. One thing this has given us is time. Time is a gift that we rarely get as parents, as people. If you were to do a poll of people and ask them, what is something they struggle with? What is something they need more of? And more often than not, people will say they don't have enough time, they need more time, they want me time, they're running out of time, and that time passes too fast. So right now, I just want to share with you that what we've been given right now is the rare gift of time. Something that we may never be given again is this gift. So don't take it for granted. Don't sit idle. Don't waste it. Don't get caught up. Stay focused on what's important. Stay focused on what matters and focus on your goals. Take the steps you need to take today so that you can have a better tomorrow. And the second thing that you can do is to disconnect. By disconnecting, I mean, don't get so caught up in the news and everything that's going on that it puts you into a panic, into a frenzy, and has you worrying. It's important to disconnect for your own peace of mind, for your own well-being, for your own health. So I like to say, stay connected enough so that you know what's going on, but disconnect before you drive yourself crazy. There's so much information, so many things going on, lots of information overload, that it's so easy to become consumed in all the news and all the information. So take a step back and disconnect. Do something you enjoy for your own peace of mind. So my advice during this time is to stay focused on your goals and to disconnect. These are 2 things that I'm actively practicing myself right now. So while I'm working from home, because I do still work a full-time job while running my business, while I'm working from home, I am doing the work that I need to do for my full-time job, while at the same time managing the work that I need to do in my business. And then also, fortunately, my kids are older so that they are a little more independent. So when their school begins to send homework for them to do, they will be able to, for the most part, do that independently. So just stay focused on the assignments that you have at hand and knock things off of your to-do list one by one. That is what I am doing every day to take one step closer to living my dreams. And also, I am disconnecting. The way that I disconnect is I watch the news in the morning so I can hear the latest updates. I check in around afternoon time so that I can see if there are any developments with my state or other national things that are going on because things are changing by the minute. And then I check in the evening just to see what has happened during the day. It's so easy to be obsessed and constantly scroll your timeline, but I encourage you to put the phone down, turn the news off, and disconnect. Go enjoy your family. Go enjoy these moments of family time that we've been given. Go enjoy the moments of me time that we now have. For this time will pass, and we will be back into the hustle and bustle of everyday life, wishing that we had more time. So while we've been given this gift of time, make the most of it and enjoy your family and enjoy life. Stay safe, keep on pressing, be prepared, do your part. This too shall pass and we will get through it. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. We just had a bunch of amazing humans share with you different productivity tips, insights, techniques, tools that have helped them be able to figure out this new level of productivity with having everyone in the house. I hope that this serves you. I appreciate you. I am wishing you nothing but the best during this time of mega transition and mega integration in our lives. And while it may not feel like it sometimes, you totally got this.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than a Parent. To be your more, live your and.
Continue the conversation and connect at facebook.com/groups/more than a parent.